The silly season has been completely shaken up by Piastri saying no to a spot at Alpine. Many questions are being asked, and as you know, many answers are needed. We are here to help you with that. Look a little bit deeper, and the shocking facts will surprise you. How will this affect the future of Formula One? Which teams are affected by this? What about Sebastian Vettel? Is it true that he's going to miss F1? Do we have any new rumors? Stick with us till the end, and you will find out. But first, before we start, hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest stories. Now let's jump into it. Where will Ricciardo go? You can't deny that with 8 wins, 32 podiums, a Monaco GP victory, and 2 World Championship runner-up spots, he deserves to be in the top 3 in the sport. On top of this, Daniel is a very likable person, and teams are always fighting for him. I mean, just think about it. In 2018, Red Bull gave up fighting for the Constructors' title just to get him the 5th place he needed to beat Raikkonen for the most points. Of course, this is only possible because of how fast Max Verstappen was at the time, pulling away from Daniel, and the team knew they couldn't fight for the title anyway. Even when he was announced at McLaren, it took a while before Carlos Sainz was confirmed at Ferrari. In the meantime, everyone was wondering if Daniel would be paired with Charles at Ferrari instead of Carlos. And rumors were spreading that he was close to sign a deal with the Italian team. Fast forward to today, and he's looking for a spot and has the chance to test for both Williams and Alpine. These teams are right behind Haas and Aston Martin in the constructor standings, which means if you put Ricciardo in either of these cars, they could improve quite a bit. But which one of these teams is better? Williams is a team in transition. They brought a new car to the track and introduced a brand new concept with what they call the B car. However, this is a process that takes time, and they are yet to score any points in the current season. Alpine, on the other hand, scored 36 points and is sitting comfortably in 6th place. This shows that they are more consistent and seem to be able to develop their car better over the weeks. Plus, he has previously worked with the French team and scored 337 points with them. So it's clear which one he should choose if he wants to be in the points every weekend. There is something that you should know about Williams, and that is George Russell. When rumors about Williams wanting to sign Piastri, Russell commented about this. He said that he doesn't want anyone to arrive at the team. He wants to be the only one leaving. He's moving to Mercedes and wants to see Williams rise above where they are right now. Obviously, this is a good shot at Piastri, because Russell is currently driving for the Grove team and knows how difficult it is to fight for points. But this may also point out the way for Ricciardo to get back into F1 next season. If Russell wants to keep his seat warm at Williams, the only way to do that is to sign a multi-year deal, and then Williams would be obligated to build the car around Russell, which would be the perfect opportunity for Daniel to shine again in the RB19. It's impossible to imagine F1 without the presence of the Spaniard, and he was very happy at McLaren until they decided to let him go. They told him that they need a driver that brings a lot of money to the team, like Torres did in the past. But many believe this was just a cover story to hide the truth. Could it be that the team let him go because they wanted to bring him back? This story will definitely get a lot of attention in the coming days and weeks. But one thing is for sure. If it comes true, this will be one of the best moves in the history of McLaren. And many drivers and former F1 drivers are pushing for this move to happen. So, what will happen with Vettel? He's been in the sport since 2007 and won 4 world titles with Red Bull. Since then, he's been driving for Ferrari and struggled to win a championship with them. Later, he moved to Aston Martin and then to Alpine. As a passionate racer, he wants to continue driving and has already expressed his desire to continue. He said he would love to race in America and get his 50th win in the US, with the Circuit of the Americas in Austin looking like a possible destination. The energy drink-owned team is going through a tough time. They changed their name and logo earlier this year, and recently, Sergio Perez tested positive for COVID. Alex Albon has stepped in for him for the upcoming race at Spa. In this difficult moment, the team needs a strong leader to guide them out of this trouble. And who is a better candidate than Seb? He knows how to lead the team and how to come back from a difficult situation. He did it with Ferrari, so why not try it with Red Bull? Of course, this can only happen if someone leaves the team, and with the recent crash of Alex Albon in Hungary, it may have opened up a seat for the German driver. Although he was fine after the crash, he was unable to participate in the Belgian Grand Prix due to concussion protocols. This meant that he couldn't return to the track until the next race in Belgium. And with how badly Red Bull needs a strong driver to bring them back to the top, they will likely take advantage of this incident. Not only because they can decide if Albon is reliable enough to race for them, but also because they can see how Vettel would fit in the car and what kind of performance he can bring in compared to the Thai driver. What do you guys think about this move? Will Red Bull take the risk and sign Vettel, or will they trust Albon? And if Albon gets the position, what will happen to him? And why did Vettel retire in the first place? Everyone is talking about the new rule that could shake up F1. After the events that happened during the summer break, we can expect to see even more driver changes for next season. But there is a rule that has been ignored for a long time and is now back in the spotlight. The issue is that a driver can only sign a deal if his current team gives them permission to talk to another team. If they do not give them permission, then the driver is not allowed to talk to anyone else about a potential move. Teams usually do this because they want to hold on to their drivers and not let them go to their competitors. But sometimes, they may also do this to get a good deal from the other team to get a better driver in return. This is exactly what happened to Nico Rosberg when he decided to retire from F1 after winning the 2016 world title. Rosberg left Williams to drive for Mercedes and became a teammate of Lewis Hamilton. This move was a shock for everyone because no one expected him to leave after just one season. However, in his contract with Mercedes, there was a clause that allowed him to speak to any team he wanted. This meant that Mercedes couldn't stop him from talking to anyone, and ultimately, he ended up at Williams. When Rosberg announced his retirement, Mercedes was left scrambling to find a replacement. They initially looked at several drivers, including Pascal Wehrlein and Esteban Ocon, but ultimately decided to promote Valtteri Bottas from his role as a reserve driver. This move worked out well for Mercedes as Bottas proved to be a reliable teammate for Hamilton and helped the team to win the next 2 constructors' titles. With so many teams looking to make changes for next season, this rule could play a big role in deciding who ends up where. Some teams may be willing to pay a hefty price to secure the services of a top driver, while others may be able to get a good deal by waiting for a driver to become a free agent. Only time will tell how this rule will play out and which teams will be the winners and losers as a result. How will this affect the future of Formula One? We may be seeing a lot of changes in the future of Formula One, and it could have a big impact on the sport as a whole. With all these changes, we may see a shake-up in the pecking order, and some teams may suddenly become contenders. We could also see some new teams enter the sport, and some of the current teams may struggle to adapt to the new rules and regulations. The changes in the sport could also have an impact on the drivers, and we may see some of the current drivers fall by the wayside. We could also see some new drivers emerge and take their place at the top. Overall, the future of Formula One is uncertain, and it will be interesting to see how it all plays out. We may see some big changes in the sport, but one thing is for sure, it will be exciting to watch. Thank you for staying with us all the way to the end. We appreciate your support and hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any updates about Formula One. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.